Welcome to the Rick Pitino Show, featuring Providence College basketball coach Rick Pitino.
Now what we'd like to do more than anything else is to toast another successful season.
The Rick Pitino Show is brought to you by the Providence Journal-Bulletin and by Coca-Cola and the Coca-Cola Bottling Company of New England. Here's your host, Channel 12's Rick O'Brien.
Welcome, everyone, to a special live edition of the Rick Pitino Coaches Show. Joining us, of course, the coach is here, but we also have some other players along this evening, and Coach, you're going to talk to them in just a minute. On your far right, we have Dave Kipfer, and in the middle, Ernie Pop Lewis, and sharpshooting guard Billy Donovan. All these guys are seniors. You brought them along, but I have to ask the coach first. When we were here a week ago, the record was 0-2 in the Big East, and you had 3 Big East games. It is now 3-2 in the Big East, a win this afternoon, and you've got to feel a little bit better.
Without question, all these games have been tough for us. Different types of games, and tonight I was overly pleased. I knew they were going to try and slow the tempo down. They're averaging about 69 points per game. We expected the box in 1 and the triangle in 2, and tonight was a great victory because Billy and Delray got shut down, and our inside people, especially our freshmen, did a terrific job.
All right, let's take a look at some of today's action. A victory over Boston College at the Civic Center this afternoon. 10 points was the final margin, and you take it from here, Coach.
Okay, we're trying to move the ball around. They're going with Billy Donovan wherever he is. He's being shadowed. He can't really move. He's trying to obviously make his moves, but the great thing about Billy Donovan, he doesn't care whether he scores or passes. He's the consummate team player. Now here we're trying to do the same thing to Barrows, a little bit different. We're trying to give him 2 people and make the other people handle the basketball who aren't as good. We're trapping Barrows all over the court. Here Pop Lewis comes up with a deflection, and we don't let him breathe the entire game. He's a sharp-shooting 3-point player, and tonight, once again, Boston College was 0 for 6. Great pass by Marty Conlon to Steve Wright. Marty Conlon at 6'10" is a great interior passer. Here we move the ball around. We're a very good passing team because we're unselfish. That's the key to being a good passing team. We ball fake well. 5 guys touch the ball, and Jacek Duda comes up with the easy layup. Now, great steal by Carlton Screen, who has very quick hands. He looks away, he scores. Now he makes an impossible shot. Very easy for Carlton. He walks away as if nothing happened.
Yes, like you practice that all the time, make it all the time. Coach, it's your show. Like we said last week, we want to make you do a little work here. You've got some of your seniors here, and a chance to talk.
Well, last year when we lost our seniors, my wife said, for 1 week, why were you so down in the dumps? And the seniors we had last year were just terrific. Harold Starks, someone you can't really replace, and Alan Roth and Penny Father, and I thought they were all great. Donnie Brown as well. This year it's even going to be tougher because last year was a defensive version. This year's an offensive version in these 3 people. Jacek Duda would have been here tonight, but he had a date, and if he breaks the date, he's not getting it again. So we allowed him to miss.
We'll have him on later.
Okay. Dave Kiffer right now is we call him the blue-collar player. He's great inside. He's improved his shooting from the outside, improved his foul shooting. He's probably the toughest kid on the team. He backs down to no one, gets a little early foul trouble, but for minutes played, for the amount of minutes he does play, he's an outstanding basketball player. Dave, obviously you've played the last 2 years. Let's talk a little bit about when the season's over. You've toyed with Canadian basketball a little bit, whether you try out for the Olympic team, do you go into business? Where would you like to ultimately settle, in Canada or the United States?
Well, I think I'd really like to stay in the New England area and settle here. Canada's a possibility. Playing over in Europe is another possibility that I might consider. I'd like to get into maybe a real estate area or a small business area and selling possibly.
One of the things that we're going to do next year, May 19th to the 31st, we're going to be traveling to Europe to play for a pre-European Cup trials, much like the Pan Am Games to the Olympics. And Dave will be playing with us. We're taking the seniors on tour with us, and Dave will get a chance to play against some of those professional teams over there, and they'll give him a good look. Okay. So possibly he could play. Pop Lewis has been terrific. He's one of the greatest gentlemen you'll meet in the game. And sometimes he's too much of a gentleman on the court. He's too nice, but he's just an outstanding young man. He's a finesse player, much different than Dave. Dave, you know, he doesn't eat in the morning anything but nails, and Pop eats a little French toast. But Pop Lewis is a great passer. He's utilized the 3-point shot very well, and also a great team basketball player. Pop, we've talked a little bit. Professional basketball is really not in your realm because you're someone at the size at 6'4" who really shouldn't play in the NBA, and in Europe they're looking for 6'9", 6'10" people. So business is in your future.
Yes, I would love to go into a management field. You know, I love clothes, and
you know, a clothing store. I would love to manage something like that. And, you know, I like the New England area. I would love to stay in Providence, but if I could go back to Philadelphia and do something like that, it would be great.
Any chance we can get a look at the different shoes and socks of these two players here?
That's unfair, Coach.
Okay, we have...
Don't look at my shoes.
We have Pop Lewis in the Miami Vice look with the alligator and stockings, and we have Dave Kiffer with the Argyle and penny loafers.
Appropriate timing.
Much different. Billy the Kid has been special for me. Somebody said the other night, I mean, what would you do without him? And I quite frankly don't know what I would do without Billy the Kid. He's someone we always kid. St. Agnes and St. Dominic's in Long Island are bitter rivals. They always play against each other. I went to St. Dominic's, Billy went to St. Agnes. And Billy, trimmed down, as everybody knows, has lost 20 pounds. He shoots a jump shot now instead of a push shot. The thing I like about Billy, besides his humility, is his work ethic. If we could get those freshmen right now to put in as many hours as Billy, it would be tremendous. We would have the greatest freshman class in America. And Billy, I think, is going to get drafted. But as we always say, I'm in love with my players, and I probably overrate them. But I do think he'll definitely have a shot at the NBA. But if not, let's say you don't start for the New York Knicks next year, what do you intend on doing?
I'd like to get involved in the business world, possibly stay around the New England area, get involved with marketing. If not, I'd like to go home maybe to New York and try to get involved maybe down on Wall Street.
Okay. Any Wall Street brokers out there paying whether Billy Donovan's your man?
Guys, we'll come back and we'll talk with you a little bit more, but we have some special things coming up here. When we come back, we will meet a couple of more guys who, along with the Friars, keep the Civic Center rocking. But first, how about a look back at what some call the greatest game ever played at the Civic Center? Be right back.
December 29th, 1976. Providence College met #1 nationally ranked Michigan. The Friars, led by Bob Cooper's 10 block shots and Joe Hassett's 21 points, forced the game to overtime. Bob Misovagis then sank a 14-footer, sending it to double OT. There, the Friars prevailed 82-81, knocking off previously undefeated and #1 ranked Michigan.
For those of you who have been to the Civic Center lately to see the Friars play, you're sure to remember a couple of guys in sunglasses and dark suits, and a third guy. I don't know how to describe the third guy. Any event, take a look at this. The coach went out and introduced us to, or will introduce us to, the guys that help lead the PC Cheers.
Every arena in America has 1, 2, 3, or 4 individuals that could be declared a little bit unusual at times, and certainly we fit right into the mold today with an unusual dynamic duo. We have Anthony and Joe Mack, known as the Blues Brothers around Providence. Anthony, how did you start this famous act around this town?
Well, Joe Mack and I used to go around, we used to sing the songs, Blues Brothers, imitate them. We used to do weddings, functions, mayor gatherings, and we figured we'd bring our act down to the Providence Civic Center.
Now, we first met, about a year ago, and you kept calling the office saying you wanted to take me to dinner and that you were the Blues Brothers. And I didn't know what to make of the Blues Brothers, and I obviously couldn't go out for a while, but finally one night you rented a limousine, took me to Newport. For what purpose?
The purpose was we wanted to show you what we could do and how we could get that Civic Center rocking and how we could get it rocking some more, if you want. And then I showed you how I can dance.
Let's reminisce a little bit. Go back 1 year, that night. Let's see what made you famous and why you are known as the White Michael Jackson today.
Okay.
We practice our steps for 3 hours a day. This is not an easy thing, and the bones are getting rusty.
Don't try these steps at home. Don't. They're very dangerous.
Very dangerous for
You definitely must warm up before you try
We don't want
that.
these children trying these steps at home. Please don't.
If there's any other little blues brothers out there, we also run a school for blues brothers with a special step.
Okay, here we are with the other half of the famous trio at the Providence Civic Center, the Phantom Friar. He caught me a little bit by surprise last year when all of a sudden a streak of lightning started to circle the Providence Civic Center.
Well, yes, they call him the street. Look at that, fastest thing on 2 feet. Look at that, he's just as proud as he can be. His anatomy, he gonna give us a peek.
Now, if we could look at the apparel, I'm not sure whether it's from Neiman Marcus or not.
It was during, I believe, the Villanova game last year. I had a vision. I think it was during the timeout. And up in the sky at the Civic Center, I saw it. I saw the color scheme, and it just led me. And I went to Kmart, to Zayas, and then I had to go for the sneakers over the Converse and get the Chuck Taylors. They are the key. They have the speed.
Now, any type of vitamins, any type of weightlifting you do to get ready for this role?
I think I lift enough weight every day, so I don't use any other weights.
Okay. Phantom Friar, everybody's wondering, I know the Friar Front Court Club, which you joined, you sent a check and you signed it Phantom Friar. Nobody really knows who you are. Any chance tonight of finding out who you really are in life?
It would be detrimental, from what I understand, the powers of the Phantom Friar are in the mystery of the Phantom Friar. And in many stations, I've been offered large sums of money, large sums, which I could use as the Blues Brothers. But I've decided, for the power and the sake of the team, I'm going to keep it a mystery as long as I can.
You run around with flags. Well, where did that idea come from?
Well, the fans are universal. You have them from all walks of life. And going around the Civic Center, as you said, I move so quickly, it's hard to pick me out. So a flag usually identifies me, and the fan can see me.
Now, Phantom Friar, if you would, I know you normally have to loosen up for hours upon hours. If you could just show us the famous stride. Now, you have to watch this quickly, because you really do, because it happens in a blur. This may break all type of Olympic records, but could you give us just one lap around? And could the trainer be on duty, please?
He likes to show off his physique. If there's an audience to be found, he'll be streaking it around, inviting public critique.
Obviously, Coach, you get along with these guys, and you think this is a positive thing for the program.
Whoever they are. The Blues Brothers are great, and so's the Phantom Friar. Actually, they're legitimate business people. Anthony owns Anthony's Jewelers, and Joe Mack owns the Sunoco gas station right next door, and the car wash, the M&M King brothers, and they're just great. Great fans. They get the Civic Center going, and I think we've got the best mascots in America.
When it's all in fun, too. And when we come back, we'll get back to more serious basketball matters. The coach is going to show us a basketball art form. It's known as the fast break.
Break! Break! Hit it, Billy. Back to Pop. Put it 3. Put it in. Put it in. Good.